Hello and welcome to Let's Play Doom. This is a one-shot episode that I'm going to do. I'm going to play the first episode in Ultraviolence because, well, feeling like blowing stuff up today. So, I would say that I'm not very familiar with this game on Ultraviolence. Not the sort of thing that I normally play, but actually, I did actually try and record this the other day, and as a few of my friends already know, it was a complete failure because the recording was just a black screen. So it was me chuntering on about Doom and explosion noises and stuff, and then nothing to actually watch. So that was a bit of a failure. So I'm going to redress the balance and blow up a lot of zombies. Not got any particular goals in mind in terms of secrets or completionism. Definitely the last person, yeah. See, I'm the last person to ask about Doom secrets. Always just been about finishing the levels for me. I've never been that bothered about secret stuff. Usually if I find a secret it's because I'm lost. Ah. My barrel game's off today. So one thing I've noticed about this this particular game, Doom 1, in Ultraviolence, it's not actually that difficult. Certainly off the back of Final Doom, it's slightly easier. Now obviously that's now going to be the kiss of death. See, I don't need that armour. Just reflexively went for it because I'm forever running out of ammo and health and... well, really, I just don't know what to do with all of it. That's if I get the find the chain gun. I just completely walked into that. If I get the chain gun, that will possibly help alleviate me of the ammunition. I never remember how to open that. I think it's here. Yeah. Come back for that one later. See? Soul Sphere. Yeah, Soul Sphere. Megasphere is the next game. At least I can waste ammunition instead of health. Oh, who's that shooting at me then? It's you. So as I mentioned, I'm just going to do the first episode tonight and probably record episode 2 some other time. Make a little mini playlist out of it, a mini series. Be nice to add to the list of completed Let's Plays on my channel. I suppose I could talk about my history with Doom. Didn't have a PC until I was a lot older than most people, and I had Super Nintendo, and we had the Doom game for that. So my I had seen the PC version, but in terms of game that I could just sit and play, I had the Super Nintendo version, and so, being about 15, thought it was pretty cool, and, got quite positive memories of it, although, imagine if I played it now, it would be just a bit too slow, and, too limiting in terms of major things like, the enemies always facing you, and fact that it's quite brutal in that you can't save. Don't even remember having passwords, so you could basically just have to sit and play the whole episode in one sitting, which is even more difficult on to play episode 3, Shores of Hell, because that was only available if you had it on the Ultraviolence difficulty. There wasn't a nightmare implemented on it. It's probably understandable. It's a minor miracle that it worked at all on the Super Nintendo. Unbelievably impressive technological feat. And I think they did capture a lot of the parts of the game that I liked. You know, those recognisable enemies. The music was actually really good. They did a good job with the conversion of the music. I don't know. I'm sure I used to be bad at this game at one point, and I suppose it is difficult. But, you know, I'm not really struggling. And again, this is episode 1. Perhaps this is never supposed to be that difficult, because if it was too hard, no one would pay the bucks and get the upgrade to the full version. Nowadays, a game that's exceptionally hard is quite tolerated, and I suppose arcade games have always been quite difficult. So I suppose my point that I was about to make about hard games being actually a bad thing is nonsense. So I shall not make it. So what I usually like doing is just popping this and thinning this bit out. That'll do. Thanks, guy. It's funny, I'm quite familiar with Hurt Me Plenty, and so you play it on Ultraviolence, it's noticeably more monsters in it. Significantly different game. And it's nice to actually finally experience it, because you know it's not something I had actually ever done until recently. Like I say, the failed stream was actually the first time I'd ever finished this episode on Ultraviolence. On PC, anyway. So we've got the blue key, heading back. I'm sure you know this game quite well. I actually have a few gaps in my memory. The Super Nintendo version didn't include all the levels, so I'm actually suddenly not familiar with some of them. That'll be why. So one of the reasons for my recording this last time was to test out higher bitrate settings. I'd recorded Doom 64, and the most recent episode, as of recording this, is level 9, and there's a floor texture on that that's just really exceptionally poor quality. It's just aliases, and it just really goes terribly badly. And I think some of that's down to the N64, but some of that's also down to the bitrate being a bit low. So cranked it up a bit for this, and it seems to be okay. I've not noticed any problems with the gameplay. I see this is a game that this level was one I really like the music for on the Super Nintendo. They did a good job of converting this one. a nice tempo to it. And other musical terms I don't really understand. Press the button. What's wrong with you? Ah. Come on, barrel. Yay! Got my barrel game back. Oh, how'd you open this again? That's it. I only played this last week. This is definitely a Let's Play in the category of I'm going to play it anyway and I might as well record it. So the standards of professionalism really, you know, couldn't be much lower. In fact, I mean, I haven't even saved yet. That would have been embarrassing. Although, you know, not to be too cocky, but I reckon a pistol start wouldn't be so hard on this. There's definitely a bit later on in the game that I did find difficult, but it's probably not the bit that you thought or would expect. This room has a sort of quite a personal connection to me because of the Super Nintendo version. This is usually about as far as I get before I sort of think, shall I turn it off? Because this particular maze part, absolutely fine playing with the mouse tonight, and absolutely fine just to be shooting, turn around, blasting things whatever direction come. But on the Super Nintendo you're playing with the D-pad, and the turn rate's not incredible. So if you're in an area like this where you're up close, you need to do a 180 very quickly. It's a lot more difficult. You can't just pick targets off and... So more often than not, I'd die and just go, that's enough game, let's play something else. But not tonight. We shall get through this bit. Him just standing there and a barrel explodes. Occupational hazard, I guess. Let's change to the chain gun for a bit. I'll try not to talk while the chain gun's firing. It's a nice view. Alright, let's go. I'm sure that did something. Quite an instinctive thing to play this episode. You just sort of run around, follow the monsters, and you get to the end. And for that I am very happy, because this isn't the sort of... I'm not in the sort of mood for puzzles tonight. I just fancy some Ultraviolence. No particular reason for that, just yeah, making it sound like there's some terrible backstory to this. No, I just fancy blowing stuff up. I'm in the mood for it. Good job you can shoot through the corpses. Although I guess a kind of meat shield mod might be quite fun. Is it, yeah, first Terminator movie then? Is it? No. Am I thinking of Total Recall? I don't know, something like that. Oh. Just took my hand off the mouse to save and probably... Probably shouldn't have. If you know what film I'm on about, please leave it in the comments below. There you go, that's my YouTube thing for today. Oh, spectres. Loads of them. And the double barrel shotgun hasn't been invented yet. Any more? I did this last time. Got the ammo. But actually, I could probably do with some chain gun ammo this time. The previous Let's Play of this, the failed one, I didn't get the chain gun on level, what was it, level 2? So I had significantly more bullets, because I never use a pistol. I think that's definitely one thing possible. Well, I don't know, heresy to try and improve this game, but I guess the pistol is pretty useless. I did quite like the pistol in Halo games because they decided to make that like a laser gun in terms of accuracy, and that certainly makes it more useful. It might be like that in this, I never use it. Right, time for the chain gun though. Tell you what, they like using spectres in this episode. Ah, so this is the bit I was referring to. This is the bit I actually died on the first time when I was doing the Let's Play. The doomed one. I think I'll do a bit better this time. See, that could have gone badly. Let's, before we finish the level. Want to try and... could have sworn there was a health pack. Oh well. Oh, see? Complacent. Must remember to save a bit more often. Oh well. That'll pad out the time of this Let's Play. Make it look like I was, you know, being quite thorough, and actually it was just a bit of failure mixed in. We might have a double dose of failure at this rate. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did pick up the radiation suit. Oh well, that was silly. That would be more silly, I think, trying to pursue a chainsaw attack, sorry. Say what you see. Ironically, need the bullets this time. That's probably not irony. Oh, fell off. It's embarrassing. Somewhat run out of things to say now. Just get through this bit again. Get back into the actual levels. Pretty bad that I died in the same room in this Let's Play and the last one. That's weird, that was open before. Oh yeah. Now this time I'll save before I go in. I just don't have to repeat too much. Who knows, this entire Let's Play might be blank. Completely unuploadable. Should actually be okay. I did test the settings the last time I had the failure, so let's get out of this room. These lights give me a headache. Set off the Doom quiz. Here we go. Central processing. Now this is a level that they didn't have in the Super Nintendo one. It's not actually that difficult to get around, and you can probably imagine why they didn't have it in the Super Nintendo, because it's quite a lot bigger than the others. I'm getting my excuses in early as to why I got lost, even though I finished this level last week. I don't do things like remember stuff when I've done them. Definitely feeling the benefit of Ultraviolence now with the increased monster counts. Well, there's almost as many as Doom 3 here. And that's entirety of Doom 3 the game. Tune in for more sick burns on 20-year-old games. Oh no, just worked out that it's 20 years ago. Now I feel really old. I still haven't forgiven Doom 3 though. It's definitely the Phantom Menace of Doom games. Yeah, we've done that, haven't we? This is where my memory gets a little bit hazy. So we need the yellow key, which is probably this way. Like I say, you just follow the monsters and you pretty much kind of get to where you need to go. Should probably save. I'll just get lost in this thing. There we go. So that's the other key we need. Who's shooting at me? Do you mind? Spectres everywhere. Doom 2 type games are much more keen on throwing a, I don't know, a Mancubus or a Revenant at you. Oh, run out. Oh, they're doing something down there. Leave them to it, I guess. Pleased to say this is just as much fun this time around. Go away. Thinking those barrels are going to go off and hurt me, but probably okay. Doing some Art of War pro strats there, making the enemy's numbers count against them, that sort of nonsense. Well, there we go. No point running around like a headless chicken. And on to the next level. We are now Computer Station. Do I remember that one? I think this is quite underwhelming, this level. Oh yeah. Sorry, I mean, woo! Party, this is going to be awesome. I forgot I was recording. I need to get the YouTube hype game going. Bit of screen shake, yeah. Oh, red key, idiot. Yep, that still needs a red key. So this level is in the Super Nintendo version, but it's not one I usually get to very often because we're just, you know, like I say, to sort of lose interest and not play this far. But now I'm an amazing Doom player and have a mouse. Well, she didn't need telling I was an amazing Doom player, as you can witness from my dodging of that fireball. Got the reflexes. Got the ability to shoot barrels. And it doesn't bother me too much when I've got low health. See, I totally saw that fireball come in and dodged it. The guy was late to the party. Where am I going again? Yeah, this is why I don't like this level. It's backtracking and it's just a bit annoying. I'm sure there's something up there, no doubt, but it's an entirely pointless room up there, as far as I'm concerned. There should have been a switch. Some reward for going up there. Still. Making progress now, I think. That room needed a switch. It was probably about as controversial as this channel gets. So I hope nobody fainted. Come on. I don't know if that's a Doom Retro thing, but having the body sort of flip forward a bit and fall off things is definitely an amusing addition. Okay, so we've got the red key now. So we can unlock the power of the red door. That way then. It's back here and round here. Could have just given us the blue key, but no, we had to do this entirely pointless. 5 meters of floor. Where is it? Here we go. Let's save because it's been a while. Got to stop multitasking while I'm saving, attacking the zombies and whatnot while I'm trying to save. It's going to end in tears. They blew themselves up really. I had very little to do with that. We don't probably open something useful. Just spied we've got lots of chain gun ammunition, so yeah, this is getting towards the end of the level now. Yeah, I've probably overlooked a lot of stuff. Never really felt in much danger apart from in that particular level. A room of failure. It's nice to play this level because the end of Final Doom TNT, its boss level, was awful. They tried to stick like an entire level onto it. And really it should just be about shooting monsters. Right, here I can blow myself with a rocket to the Spectre. Yeah. Things aren't going very well now, actually. That's quite generous with the health packs. Spectres are definitely more dangerous in this level than the 2 Hell Knights that have just come out, and that's slightly questionable. think I've got them all, so I can start firing rockets now. Let's blow some barrels up for fun. Or we can cosplay as a Spectre. Hopefully I've got enough ammunition to take the other one out. There we go. And that's all, folks. Say goodbye to episode 1 of Doom. And some mountains from China, I think. Yep. So, thank you very much for watching. That was episode 1 of the first game of Doom, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. I certainly did. And I will see you next time. I'll probably record episode 2 at some point, and it'll appear randomly in your notifications. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and ring that bell notification icon to see when episode 2 appears. Oh, I feel really ill for saying that. Ugh.